who wins, Rams or Cowboys?
I'm going to take the Rams here, which is actually an upset. The Cowboys are significant favorites. I think they're favored by like a field goal on the road. Of course, the thought is, I'm sure, that given the fact that the Rams oftentimes, in LA anyway, in that market, the opposing team can come in and fill the stands with pack the venue with fans of the opposing team. It'd be interesting to see how social distancing plays a role in this, if there are even fans. But still, the Rams should have a home field advantage here. I'm also guessing, not just the Cowboys are going to underachieve compared to the talent, because that's what they do year in and year out. You look on paper at the beginning of the season, you go, wow, the Cowboys are loaded. And then like last year, they wound up 8-8. And I know C.D. Lamb is a great talent and everything, but last year we thought they had great talent too. I look at the linebackers especially. Boy, that's the best young linebacking core in the NFL, and it turned out to be a weakness for a lot of the season, even when they were on the field. Forget about injury. So the Cowboys underachieve, but I'm also basing it on this, guys. I know they drafted the running back was Cam Akers in the second round, and they let Gurley go. They believe that their draft pick is going to be the workhorse back. It's going to fit into their offense. But I'm basically basing it on this. When in the NFL, you look at the quarterback and the coach. Do you believe in them, yes or no? Tomlin and Roethlisberger. Obviously, Belichick and Brady for so many years. Peyton and Breeze. Peterson and Wentz, by the way. They won the division even with, in an off year with a lot of injuries. If you believe you have talent at the head coaching and quarterback spot, you're usually in it. So what do we think of McVay and Goff? I didn't think quite as highly of them as some did. Like, 2/3 of the way through the season 2 years ago, Jared Goff looked like an MVP. And Sean McVay is this genius. And they were probably a little bit overrated at that point. But last year, I think because of last year, they've become underrated. If McVay can't make adjustments now, then what he did year one with all the play action, everything, that's a parlor trick. And now the league caught up to him. I believe he's better than that, and he can make adjustments as a head coach. And I don't think Goff is an MVP, but I also think he's a pretty good quarterback. So I think you start with a really good foundation and a team that had a lot invested in a running back who didn't give them what they needed last year, who's now replaced that piece. Let's not forget 2 years ago, it was the Rams and the Chiefs as the two, oh my God, did you see that kind of teams. I'm expecting the Rams to recapture some of that and upset the Cowboys at home week one.
Well, Max, under most situations, I'd reckon you're right. But not this particular situation, buddy. I'm going to have to go with these Dallas Cowboys. Laura, I know you're laughing at my southern accent, but I think in this particular instance, as we're discussing this particular topic, it's apropos to sit up there and talk to my southern friends out there. We all know I love my buddy Jerry Jones. I don't like what he's doing to my guy Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott deserves to be treated a hell of a lot better than he has been. But my buddies Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, I reckon that they'll come to the right conclusions at the right time, and I think that they'll right that ship, and I think everything will be just fine. Now let's get into those Cowboys. We're not talking about Cowboy fans now because we know I can't stand them. Those disgusting, nauseating fans, the worst fan base in American history as far as I'm concerned, the delusional bunch that they are. But Jerry Jones is my buddy, my Libra brother. I love that man, and I think that this is going to be a good year for him. You got Dak Prescott. I think going to get him back. I think he's going to sign that exclusive franchise tag or reach a long-term agreement before July 15th. Then after that, you still got Amari Cooper. Just gave him $100 million. You still got Michael Gallup. Oh, by the way, C.D. Lamb is supposed to be a stud. Michael Irvin, a.k.a. the Playmaker, came on national television and blessed that man with his number 88. And he says there's obviously ingredients and a requirement that comes with wearing that number. And he has all confidence in the world that C.D. Lamb can live up to that. Then we got Ezekiel Elliott. Can't forget that dude. It ain't in Cabo this time around. He's going to be there bright and early, ready to go. So we got that going on. You got to believe that the defense is going to improve because it can't get much worse than it was at particular junctures last year. Take all those things into consideration. And then you take into account that Southern California weather, the fact that unfortunately the coronavirus pandemic is going on right now, so there ain't going to be a bunch of fans in attendance for them to feed off of. It's going to come down to the talent on that side of the ball in L.A. against the talent in Big D. And as a result of that reality, I'm looking at the Dallas Cowboys having superior talent, opening game of the season, no hostile environment that they'll be walking into, okay? The combination of all those things leads me to believe that my Libra brother Jerry Jones is going to start off 2020 just right. The Dallas Cowboys will knock off the Los Angeles Rams, reminding us that Jared Goff and that $110 million in guaranteed that he received might have been a bit premature on the part of the Los Angeles Rams. Not saying they ain't going to have a good season. Not saying that at all, because I like me some Sean McVay well. But in the end, the bottom line is this game one of the season, Dallas Cowboys will take it, they'll win that game, and they'll move on from there. That's what I'm saying about my buddy Jerry.
Yeah, see, this is predictable, actually, Stephen A., because you always think the Cowboys have to rise and rise and rise, so in the fall at the end, it's more exquisitely painful for their fans. If they don't rise to the great heights
right
at
around
first,
Thanksgiving.
you're not picking against them. Right, and especially when they're this loaded, and the Rams have underachieved. And week one, it's too early. That's how you start off the season. But I'm telling you something else I think you haven't considered. The hopes are already so high. The Cowboys fans see that they are indeed loaded. Jason Garrett is out of there. This is a very high-profile game in LA. Let's not forget, Jerry Jones was instrumental in getting Kroenke the stadium deal, the whole thing. He gets the first game there. Like, this is a big deal for Cowboys fans. And considering how big a deal it is, and their favorites, I think their expectations are sufficiently high for a giant fall and letdown week one. To that, you say what?
Max Kellerman, I must say, based on that point that you just brought up, I'm going to echo the sentiments of your buddy and mine, the great Don King, who once said to me, from your lips to God's ears, I think I'm going to think about that. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.